Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch those ads. Don't bump those ads. Don't skip them ads, y'all. Let's get into this video. This video is about an 8-year-old child named Ddhs that was killed in the hands of his auntie while in CPS custody. I was just looking at this Ddhs case with the 8-year-old little boy. Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch those ads. But looking at his case and how the teacher had signs and called CPS and reported so many times this little boy was being abused. Nobody done anything about it, but they did remove him out of the care with his mother and put him in the care with the auntie, and the auntie was the one that killed him. And the little girl, they didn't really mention about the little girl, so I'm trying to still follow up on the case to see what was going on with the little girl, but they didn't say anything about her. But the little girl was afraid to even go back home. She didn't want to go home. She wanted to stay home. And you know, a teacher deals with a lot day in and day out when she got to deal with a lot of students. But she said the teacher was one of her students that she really, you know, care about, because he comes in every day with a smile on his face. He was only 8 years old. He was innocent. He didn't deserve to die, you know, by the hands of someone that he knows, especially his auntie. But they say he was removed out of the home from the mom in 2014 because he was tested positive for marijuana in his system. So they removed him out of the care with his mom and placed him in the home with the auntie. And my thing is, we're dealing with CPS in different states is very different. That was in Denver where that happened at, but it still should have been the point to where they should have had removed him out of the care with the auntie if the teacher was calling down there reporting to them what was going on with the kids while they were coming to school, because the girl was his oldest sister. And the teacher said she's seen signs with her too as well, because she already complained to the teacher that she didn't want to go home. I feel like CPS be stepping in to people's homes, removing kids that are not supposed to be removed, or removing kids that needs to be removed, but when they are removed, they're going into care with what the caregiver, which is his auntie, which is family. And they said they did a background check on the lady and they didn't see no foul play or nothing like that, so they put the kids in her custody. I just feel like they should have went out there and did visits with the kids or whatever, try to figure out what was going on with them, and not let the case went the way it went. Like, basically, if that teacher kept calling down there, reporting what was going on and what was being said by those kids, CPS should have followed up with that, besides let it go. And the guy was like, he did like, what, 24 reports or something like that. He had a lot of reports coming from the school alone stating, you know, what was the allegations with the little boy. My heart goes out to kids like that, because he didn't deserve to die so young and so early. And yeah, on this video you'll see where he got nothing but smiles and he's laughing, he's talking, and you know, he's a kid. She explained everything he do when he come in the classroom. Always had a smile on his face. And that teacher was hurt. In this video you'll see where she was hurt. She was crying, she was mourning, because that was one of her students that she really cared about, and the little girl too as well. So I hope and pray that with this CPS case with my children, they can return back home safe and everything goes good with them, so they can come back home safe and not in a body bag. Because, you know, you can't really trust nobody. And after seeing all these CPS cases with these kids are dying in the care of a caregiver, makes me think about my situation, because I know deep down inside my kid's father not going to harm my children. I know deep down inside my mama not going to harm my children. But to look at other people's cases like, darn, this kid could have been still alive if only they could have pushed forth their efforts to take up their time to go out there and actually, you know, visit these kids and see what was going on with them, and try to see if these allegations were real, what the teacher was saying, to make sure that, you know, Ddhs, the little boy, could have been still alive. So I just feel sorry for the little boy, and his life is gone so soon. An innocent soul gone so soon. So again, y'all don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch those ads, don't bump those ads, don't skip those ads. We're gonna get into this video where they talk about what really happened to Ddhs at the time he was in the care with his auntie. So again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch those ads. And let me tell you something, CPS does suck. I hate CPS because the fact that they ain't going, my kids are removed for false allegations, and ain't none of that stuff going on, like abuse, none of that stuff going on with me and my children, you know, at all. But when I see other kids are being abused and taken away and put in care with somebody else and they wind up dying, it hurts another mother, because of the fact that, you know, that mother that did had her child, got her child taken for marijuana, because, you know, he was young at the time. In 2014, he was still a baby when he tested positive for marijuana. But anyways, I'm not gonna tell you the rest of the story. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch those ads, and let's get into this video. See you guys later. Peace.
Find the gaps in the system that led to the death of Demetrius Wilson.
Denver police found the 8-year-old unresponsive back in June. Now his great aunt is accused of beating him to death.
For months, Darius Johnson has partnered with 9 Wants to Know to learn what happened to this sweet little boy. Now we've learned his teacher says she did what she could to intervene, and she says if DHS had done its job, Demetrius might be alive today.
School can be a safe haven, a refuge for children who are not safe at home.
I love it. It's a great place.
At Ashley Elementary,
It's really a family.
particularly room 209.
Reed, are we in your classroom right now?
We are in my classroom.
This is where Reed Gibson's second graders are taught to be terrific. Second graders like Demetrius Wilson.
He was the sweetest little boy. He had this huge smile on his face. Every day he would come running in and he would say, "Miss Gibson, hi!"
Miss Gibson also taught his big sister, Noelle White, who is now in the 4th grade.
She's also an angel. They both are just such great kids, and I feel lucky to have been a teacher for them.
This year, in room 209,
That was the first thing I put up when I came in.
Demetrius's smile and spirit remain.
I think just looking at his face and seeing that smile and that grin, I mean, that's the smile that he had every day, all day.
Even after his life was cut short.
It's something you never want to see, and especially for a child who's 8 years old who still had so much left to give and was just taken way too early.
Children are unable to protect themselves physically, emotionally, even verbally.
Stephanie Villaforte is Colorado's Child Protection Ombudsman, often investigating concerns regarding children.
They may not have the skills they need to say, I need help. So the idea is these professionals in their lives take over that responsibility for them.
That's the responsibility of a mandatory reporter. Certain professions require people to report child abuse or neglect to the Department of Human Services. That includes teachers like Ms. Gibson.
I don't even know that I could make a count of how many I've done.
A dozen, less than a dozen?
More than a dozen.
And how long have you been a teacher?
This is my 5th year.
DHS was involved in Demetrius's life from the start. In March 2014, he was born with marijuana in his system. The hospital contacted Denver Human Services. Over the years, they investigated 4 other reports regarding Demetrius and his older sister, Noelle. That includes a February 2017 incident when they removed the children from their mother's home and placed them in the custody of their great aunt. Susan Baffour was cleared by Human Services for kinship placement. Legal custody belonged to DHS until the department gave Baffour parental rights in October 2017.
At first it started out okay.
A decision Demetrius's family thought was the right one.
I had him like every other weekend, and then it just stopped.
I couldn't hardly make a phone call to them without there being, you know, an excuse.
Yeah, I kind of wondered why he wasn't coming around, or
If they were planning on coming over Saturday, it got canceled.
I thought she just kept him away because I went to a different church.
COVID created more isolation from their family. Demetrius and his sister attended school online.
As a teacher, people say, wow, you really have an impact on these kids. You hang out with them a lot. You're with that child for 5 days a week, 8 hours a day.
In October 2020, Ms. Gibson first became concerned for the kids' well-being.
She had a cute little skirt and tights on, but she had ripped her tights in the bathroom like while she was pulling them up. She went home, Susan saw that they were ripped. She came back the next day and she said, I got grounded because my aunt said that I took scissors into the bathroom and cut my tights. That's when she kind of broke down and was like, I don't want to go home. I don't like it there. I want to stay here. And that's why I made the report.
Ms. Gibson filed a report with DHS.
I just felt like it needed to be put in writing, said to someone, so that they could investigate further.
We found her report was screened out. DHS says it didn't fit the criteria to launch an investigation. The next red flag came nearly a year later.
Susan had emailed asking if we could put him on remote learning, and we told her that that wasn't an option.
Baffour's reasoning, punishment, according to the school.
That wasn't right that she was trying to keep him out of school for 2 weeks.
In September 2021, the school attendance secretary called the Denver Public Schools Department of Safety to conduct a welfare check at their home. Baffour never answered the door, and DHS was never contacted.
The issue with mandated reporting is it's really designed to serve as an alert system for the system to know, hey, we have a child who's in peril, and somebody needs to go look at their home, check this out. When those things don't happen, happen, we do run the risk that children are left in harm's way.
The way the law currently stands, DHS is not required to follow up with the family once a caregiver is granted parental responsibility. The last time DHS made contact with Noel and Demetrius was in 2000.
That's the last date that they have any record of Demetrius before his death on June 3rd of 2022. There is a 5-year gap from the moment Susan got him until the moment he died.
I mean, I don't know how DHS works, and I don't know what that process is, but you would think that there would be some follow-up after they've been placed in her custody to make sure that everything is okay.
I'm sure it leaves you speechless.
Yeah. And heartbroken too.
How do we get more youth to really be seen and heard by all the professionals that are designed to help them?
Professionals like Ms. Gibson, who believes DHS needs to do a better job.
I mean, there are some days to me where I'm like, is it even worth me reporting anymore? Because obviously I will. I'm a mandatory reporter. I'm not going to not, but like, it just makes you lose a lot of hope in the system when you have something like this happen.
Losing hope in a system that is meant to protect children. I told you I have nearly 400 pages of documents. This is starting from Demetrius's birth. They were not given to me easy, and they were not easy to get from Denver Human Services. Some of those files were not provided to us until we went over their heads and went to the state. And those documents